Hey guys, what's going on? TH back with you with another video talking about bullshit. I've been under some stress lately. Last week my dad was in the hospital for a couple days, something related to his heart. We thought he was going to have to get a stent put in, but it turned out he didn't need one. It turned out he didn't need surgery or anything. He was. I mean, we've been talking about this for a while, like maybe a couple weeks ago. My sister said like, "Hey, Dad's gonna need heart surgery at some point." Me, my dad, my sister, we all live close together, so it's just one of those things. Something happens to one of us, kind of affects all of us, and you know, um, we were freaking out about it. We just like, oh man, Dad needs to get his heart operated on. He's not. He's 60. He just turned 66 last month, and we were really concerned about it, but it turned out like his heart's in pretty good shape, but like one of his arteries was blocked, not like completely blocked, but pretty like 95% blocked. But they're just going to give him medication and like monitor him for a while. He's going to go in for checkups and visits and stuff. So that seems to be, not that big a deal, hopefully. But I'm just kind of keeping an eye out and just making sure, I'm kind of staying in contact with him, making sure, he's doing all right. But he was in the hospital for a couple days, so it's just like one of those things, man. Like Jesus, dude. I spent nights in the hospital. That's not fun, man. Hospitals are not fun. And then there's another thing. I remember I've been struggling. I don't know if I brought this up or something, but uh, I was waiting for the security deposit. I sold my place a couple months ago. I was waiting for it back, and I remember I'm living with my sister now, and she checks the mail a couple times a week. And I remember I asked her if she checked the mail. She's like, "Yeah, you didn't get the security deposit, but there's a letter from the IRS for you." And I'm just like, "Oh fuck!" She told me this at work, and it was like really early in the workday, and I'm just like worrying about this IRS thing. I'm getting myself like an ulcer over this fucking thing. But I remember I got home that day. I checked. It was actually a refund. It was actually like, "Oh hey, you overpaid on your taxes. Here's $56 back." I'll take $56. That's better than a sharp stick in the eye. But all that stuff was going on, and then at work they're like cutting my hours. Now they're just like, if you could take like an extra day or two off every pay period. I get paid every 2 weeks, so maybe take 1 or 2 days off. A month, which is not a huge amount, but that's still we're still talking a couple $100. Out of my paycheck. Every month. I haven't gotten a full paycheck in like 2.5, 3 months, maybe. I've gotten mostly full paychecks. I'm not getting a full paycheck. I'm getting paid later tonight, but that's when my pay card refills. But it's not as much as it usually is. I'm down a couple $100 right now. So I'm just like, I owe people money. I owe some bills and shit, and I'm down in my checking account and my, it's just one of those things, man. It's just one of those things you can't really do much about. But um, oh, it's just so goddamn irritating. But I think one of these days, I'm gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna start taking Xanax or something. But it's just one of these days. I'm just gonna like close some bank accounts or close my credit card. That's the thing. I'm consolidating my credit card bills too. I deal with that. Kind of. I got this letter in the mail. They're just like, well, hey, you can join this program. We can take your credit cards and you can make interest free payments on them, and then we'll close the accounts after a couple of years when you paid them off. I was like 10 grand in credit card debt, and now it doesn't apply to all my credit cards, but I'm slowly taking care of that, just working myself out of debt, paying a few $100 a month to it. So it's about the same as I was paying, maybe a little bit more, maybe $100 more. But hey, man, I gotta whittle that shit down. That's just killing my credit. It's been a real mess. My credit's not too bad, but this thing will kind of make your credit go down a little bit. But after a while, it should go back up. So that's what I'm hoping. It's kind of like one of these things you're taking a risk, but I got to close that account. I've had that account for like 5 years, 6 years almost, and it's causing me nothing but problems. It's like, yeah, you can buy some cool stuff with it, but me, it's easy to rack up credit card debt. I remember, when I first moved here, I think I probably talked about this, but I was just like, I could not keep a stable job for the first like 6 months I was here. I was bouncing around from job to job. Like, every couple of weeks I was getting a new job, and I had no money coming in, and I had credit left on my credit card. I had to use that. I had to pay bills with that, buy food with that. You can max that shit out and really quickly. But I'm fixing that now, and hopefully I can put more money back in my IRA. I kind of paused payments on that, so I just got all this shit going on. Oh, just one of these other things, the pain in the ass. I don't even know if my IRA is going to make any fucking money. I mean, I put a few $1,000s in there the last couple of years, and it's growing, but like it's kind of like, it's not, I don't know. I don't know much about finance and shit. I put money in there. I got a financial advisor I talked to, good guy. I was like, here, take some of my money, put it in there. My grandfather passed away earlier this month, and I'm getting some money from him, which is kind of bittersweet, but, I love the guy. He was, my favorite Polak, but, so hopefully I'll be able to take some of that money, maybe put that in my 401k, not 401k, IRA, and maybe use some of that. I don't know, maybe I'll put a down payment on a car or something. I mean, we're down to my family. There's 3 people living in this park. Me, as far as my family goes, me, my sister, and my dad. We only have 2 cars between us. I'm just like, some of us, sometimes we take the bus, sometimes we take Uber or whatever. But I'd like to get another car if that'd be possible. But I don't know how much money I'm going to be making. It's just a big mess. My aunt, I'm worried about her too, and she's got Alzheimer's, and she's struggling. She's not doing too hot. And I got all this shit piling up, man. It's so goddamn hard. I haven't vaped in like 8, 9 days. I haven't smoked a cigarette in like 5 days. And man, it's so goddamn hard. I'm using that Zyn shit, and that stuff's not much better. But I mean, it's not, like, as long as I'm keeping like smoke and chemicals out of my lungs, giving my lungs a break, I guess that's good. That's a good thing. But at the same time, it's just like, it just doesn't really, when you're stressing out and you got all this tension, I was looking up symptoms of too much stress, and you get chest pain, high blood pressure, muscle aches, headaches, all this anxiety, man. It's just like, I'm really just, I don't know, maybe I should start smoking weed again. Maybe I should start toking on a joint, but I think I left that in the past. But it's hard not to drink or not to smoke these days, man. I'm a guy, I have a lot of vices, and it's hard not to fall back into that behavior, man. It's just like trying to cut all this shit out. That's the thing that sucks. Stress makes you want to drink and smoke, and then that stuff doesn't actually help you. Maybe it makes you feel better for a little bit, but it just hurts you. You're clogging your arteries, you're fucking up your lungs. You're oh, goddamn. But I'm probably getting sick too. That's great. Oh, Jesus. Oh, but I'm just working. I'm just gonna keep working, keep at it. Try to keep my head above water, but try not to get into my bad habits too much. It's hard to stay, stoic. I don't know if it's hard to be strong sometimes, but man, it's just, these last couple of years, it's just been one kick in the balls after another. I've had medical problems. I've had money problems. I still got a good relationship with my family. I got family down here. I got a couple uncles, aunts, cousins, and I got a good relationship with all of them. I know they can help me if I need to. I just think it's important. I know I met a lot of guys throughout the years that just had no system of support, no families at all, and it was real tragic. It was real messed up. They had no one to go to. Some of them were like living on the street or like staying in hotels or whatever. They just had nowhere to go. Their families didn't give a fuck about them, or vice versa. Just, I'm grateful for what I have. That's what you got to be. These days I got a roof over my head, and I got, food, I got money, I'm able to save some money by living here. But, I got rid of a lot of stuff. I think I'm just going to have to live on the cheap, live, if you want to call it, minimalism. I guess that's what I'm doing. I still got a lot of junk, but it's just, I've gotten rid of so much stuff, and it's just going to be one of those things. I didn't think I'd ever live like this. I thought, for a while there, I was kind of cruising. I had a nice apartment, nice car. I had all this new stuff, and it just kind of fell apart, but that can happen to anybody. You know, I can't just sit here and regret it. Be like, oh, I'm such a loser now. I was so cool. I can't compare myself to how I was like a decade ago, 8, 9 years ago, whatever. But I gotta be more present. I gotta live in the now, man. I can't just have all this nostalgia for the past. I can't just keep reminiscing about this shit. I gotta like confront my problems head on now, and it's just, but things are stable for now. But I'm worried about my job. It's just like some days, just like, man, I just don't want to be here. Most of the time, I don't hate my job. I'm at peace with my job. I'm just at peace with the fact, a lot of guys just like, I gotta get out of the 9 to 5 grind. It's just like, hey, man, if you can work on it, if you can do some kind of side hustle, if you can find a way to get out of the 9 to 5 grind, get out of the rat race, God bless you. But a lot of guys won't. I don't think I'm ever going to get out of it. I just kind of accept that now. I'm just going to have to work. And if I'm not working at my job, I'm going to have to be working at something else, working at something I'm probably not going to get paid for, like making these stupid YouTube videos. But, I don't know I don't know if you want to call this a side hustle. I mean, maybe I can start, if I make partner, if I get a few more thousand subs, I can start charging people for Patreon or something. But I'm just, I'm just like fucking around for the most part. I'm going to start driving Grubhub again. I'm going to start doing that. Hopefully, there won't be too much of a tax on my car. Too much, driving around, too much starting and stopping. Leaving your car running 8 hours a day. That's not good for it. But hopefully, I'm going to try to do as best I can, and just if my car shits the bed. Right now it's just like if my car shits the bed now, like it's something that cost me like $400 or $500, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. And my car is old. My car is 15 years old, which isn't like super old, but it's getting to that point where it's got a lot of miles on it. It's got about 140, 150,000 miles, which isn't really that much. I've driven cars with like 320, 330,000 miles. So, I mean, but it's one of those things, I'm just kind of hoping for the best, or expecting, I don't know, hope for the best, but, preparing for the worst. As far as my job goes, man, I'm going to do this Grubhub thing for a while. I'm just going to keep making content for a while. I'm going to try and find other avenues, maybe put more money into Bitcoin, maybe talk to my financial guy, see if I can move money into some of these other stocks. If the stock market's might shit the bed, I'm hearing all this stuff about Nvidia and all this stuff about consumer spending and GDP and rate hikes and whatever the fuck. All this finance shit confuses the fuck out of me. I watched The Big Short. I'd like pause it and like look these words up. I don't know what the fuck they were talking about. Good movie though. It's kind of a funny thing. It's just like people had no idea it was coming. I mean, some of these financial guys did, like Michael Burry did, and some of these other guys, but a lot of that just caught a lot of people by surprise, and they were just like giving loans to people who had no ability to pay them back, just like they just thought it was a party that would last forever. And I kind of get similar vibes these days. But hey, I'm no kind of financial guy. I just got this feeling like, hey man, the fact of the matter is, hey, it's a struggle to live these days for a lot of people. Even if you're making like six figures, a lot of people who are making that much money, their house prices are going up. Wages are stagnant and shit. We know that, but man, I just can't. I can't sit around and like hope somebody's gonna bail me out. I can't sit around and hope that somebody's gonna fix my problems for me. I gotta fix my problems myself, man. I gotta be present. I gotta be in the now. I can't be, I gotta live in reality, and what can I do to make my life better? And I'm pushing 40. I still got plenty of time left. My health is hopefully improving. Last time I saw the doctor a couple of months ago. My blood pressure's back to normal. I'm still taking the medication, but just, I'm cutting a lot of stuff out. But every once in a while, man, I backslide. Like I'll buy like a pack of cigarettes. I haven't bought any in like in like days and days, but I'll buy like a pack of cigarettes, or I'll go get some fucking bacon cheeseburger or some shit. It's hard to. It's kind of like you gotta wrestle with your fucking temptation all the time. It's hard to do, and I've been under stress, but I'm not letting it get to me for the most part. Some days, man, it's just like last couple days, I just felt real out of it, man. I think my sleep is, just most of the time I get 8 hours, but every once in a while, it's like I cannot get to sleep. I'm up till like 6, 7 in the morning, and I fall asleep and I get up at like noon, and I'm just like operating on like 5 hours of sleep for the rest of the day. I got to go to work a 10-hour shift on like 5 hours of sleep, bro. It's not fun. It's not fun. I just, you gotta just, you're drinking all this caffeine, you're drinking all this coffee, and I don't drink like sugary energy drinks or pop anymore, so it's probably slightly better for you. But at the same time, I was just like, oh man, I don't know. Oh, all that aspartame, all these fake sweeteners, that's just not good for you either. But I'm gonna leave it there. Uh, it is Tuesday, going into work. I don't know if I'm working tomorrow. I might have a 5-day weekend. I'll get paid. I got vacation time for July 4th, Um, so that's good. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with old Hermdo. But I appreciate all the comments. You guys leave more. Like, comment, subscribe. I like to have conversations with you guys in the comments section. A lot of good comments, a lot of good discussions happening. I'm trying to foster like a more positive, uplifting community instead of just insulting people and talking shit all the time. I'm trying to be more a positive person and just separate myself from all the negativity, all this anxiety and bullshit and drama. And it's hard to do, but I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.